Hi friends, Namaste. Welcome to my channel, the Neha channel. So I share things and viewpoints, whatever things that I come across, and I have been a reader since I was a child. I have read almost the entire Enid Blyton series, जो भी comics होते थे, comics, kids comics, and along the way, I have been reading a lot of books, a lot of motivational and self help books as well. So I thought, why not help my readers, my viewers to get a little more of viewpoint on books, view like review basically, which will help them make a decision of what to go, whether to they want to go ahead with reading a book if they like the review or not, and help them make a better decision. And even if they don't, by watching my review, they can know the gist of the book. So welcome. Today I'm going to be reviewing my first book that I have recently read. The first book that I'm going to review, I think it's a really special book. I've read a lot of books, but I think in a lot of ways, this book stands out for me for the emotional appeal and the empathy it brings about in yourself. So, that book is The Nonconformist. I think when you say nonconformist, there are a few of us, myself included. I believe I'm a nonconformist. I don't conform to the norms. I have my own viewpoints, my own individual viewpoints, and I stand by them strongly. I make my life decisions according to them rather than proceeding with what others have to say and succumbing to them. Similar to that, I think a lethal man, legendary man, in fact, that existed among us in one of our previous generation, Mr. Balraj Sahni. So he has been a very, very well known and more than that, a well acclaimed actor. He's been around the, you know, erstwhile generation. He belongs to the erstwhile generation. The generation that when Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, another legend, uh, started his movie career. It was during that time that Mr. Balraj Sahni also has been acting, and they happen to know each other. And the book has been written by his son, Parikshat Sahni. So I think the most easy reference I can tell you about Mr. Parikshat is that a well-known movie is Three Idiots movie. So Mr. Parikshat is the in the movie he's the father of Mr. R. Madhavan. He's the father. When he says that he is into engineering, but he wants to become a photographer, and then the father gets him AC. He tells about his struggles, and then both have a heartwarming moment. I think I'm sharing this so that you come to know uh, of him if you can recollect this scene. So he is that guy, Parikshat Sani. He has been also into our movies and giving us his precious time and talent to the Indian movie industry. And his father has been somebody, I think he has been very, very close to, very, very inspired by. He misses him. Mr. Balraj Sani is not with us in his mortal form. May his soul be blessed. He was definitely a blessed soul. Um, so, as his son, he's written a memoir about his father in his own words and descriptions. He recollects a lot of experiences of having grown up with a father like Mr. Balraj Sahni. Narrates so many lovely incidents. Uh, so guys, How I came to know about this book is also quite a story. Let me tell you. If you guys want to listen to it. So I since I've been a reader, I follow a lot of book clubs and book openings and book launches and all of that. And then I got to know that okay, there's a book launch happening. I received an invite for a book launch for the Nonconformist, and I also knew that okay, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan is going to be there. So that was actually a catching point for me because I think I've met Mr. Amitabh Bachchan earlier as well, but always I think I always wanted to. I don't know. I feel some connection with him, so I feel like I would like to have more interactions with Mr. Bachchan. So, and even if not that, I think just the chance to be sitting across him in the same room, that would also be a privilege. So that made me want to go this, and of course to know more about the book. So I went there, and it was in full gusto. That whole event was in full gusto. I was also dressed up and decked up, and I went there. And it was at the Taj Lands in Bandra. I recall that very, very, very fondly because it turned out to be one of the most beautiful, lovely evenings for me, which I'm also going to be sharing. So, yeah, I made it. I made it to the event alongside. I don't know why I was going to meet Mr. Bachchan, and alongside on the way also, I was seeing a lot of hoardings of Mr. Bachchan. Not surprising since he's all over the place, but I took it as a sign because everywhere I'm going, I'm feeling closer to him. Like I'm seeing more and more hoardings of him. So I was just having one of those feelings that wow, I'm actually going to be seeing this man in person. And I did happen to reach on time despite Mumbai's traffic and all. I was listening to songs and enjoying myself along the way. And then I reach, and then Mr. Bachchan is in full form. He's answering all questions of his, recounting his experiences, Mr. Balraj Sahni, and the great man, legendary man that he is. So he's talking about his experience and narrating all those experiences. And I mean, I don't know what greatness was it, but I happened to get a seat right in the front row, and that was such a huge honor, despite that hall being heavily packed. So I don't know, it was just a great thing to be sitting across Mr. Bachchan and just listening to all of that, along with Mr. Parikshat Sani, whom also I saw, and I was enamored by his humility, how sweetly he's recounting an incident which shows his love for his father. I don't even want to recount that incident because I think that incident he's not fond of it. So, but it's there in this book. But when he was narrating that incident, I could see that even in something that he had to do with his father as a acting scene, he was not comfortable. Even insulting his father, even in a act. So that showed me that he really regards and misses his father. And just these emotional moments were a touch point for me to know that okay, I am in the right place. I have to get my hands on this book. The event was quite good with Mr. Bachchan telling about his experiences and funny incidents, and just general. It was a great event, and the event ended, and then I really wanted to talk to Mr. Parikshat. Um so I went and I spoke to him, and he was so kind. He gave me Ashirvad. He blessed me, and that was really a touching point for me. And I told him, uh, I just had a personal interaction with him. I can't forget that. I'll be grateful. And there was dinner there, and even I got invited to the dinner. So again I was so touched. Uh, just so touched, and like this is not because of any connection or anything. It was just a sequence of things that were happening for me, I guess. I just had, it was almost as if somebody wanted me to be there and I happened to be there. So, anyways, finally, now let's get to the book. I digress. Okay. So, yeah, the Nonconformist is Mr. Parikshat Sahni narrating and recalling his memories of his father, Mr. BALRAJ Sahni, the man, the legend, the actor, and more importantly, the human being that he was. The whole book has lovely, lovely tales of Mr. Balraj Sahni. His persona was very candid, very candor, very big, large-hearted guy who would just, bring life and zest to every moment and every human interaction that he encountered. And a remarkable thing is that he did not even care about the class of the person. Like he would interact with a waiter uh, in the same friendly manner that he would with a director. Like if there is an incident where he's partying with he's at a party and he's not enjoying the party, so he and this is abroad out of India, so he just happens to strike a small conversation with a Indian waiter over there, and then he sits on the floor and starts drinking with him, and making jokes, and he's having a gala time over there. And of course that would be a life memorable incident for the waiter, because he was actually a fan of his, and he was just gone there to praise him. But for that man to be sitting on the floor and sharing a drink with him, how lovely is that? Not just this, there are so many hilarious incidents that Mr. Parikshat has mentioned about his life. It's all drama, like it's all funny, large-hearted, unbelievable things that have happened, and the way Mr. Balraj Sahni he used to live the life of a hero. Like he was a hero in real life. Like he used to be a very brave-hearted person. There's another incident, where he's at a sea, like he's almost about to be drowning with his children, and somebody comes to save him, and but he doesn't want that person to come and rescue him. He wants to be rescued on his own, and all of this when I think he doesn't know to swim or something like that, doesn't know to swim properly or something, but he teaches his kids that don't worry, we'll get to the end of the show. And they do something, and they actually, whatever, you'll read it in the book in a better manner. So I was like, wow. So, honestly, for me, this book has been endearing, and it's been like, wow, what a person. I would have loved to meet such a person. So it's not only like a book, it's like this makes you fall in love with two people, Mr. Balzat Sani and Mr. Parikshat Sani. Like after reading this book, I fell in love with him because I saw that what a soft guy Mr. Parikshat is. Like he's very, very soft. Little things he's very, very sensitive to. He has so many small yet very, very detailed memories that he remembers about his father and about other incidents, so which showed that, oh, what a lovely guy even Mr. Parikshat is. So I mean, I would love to tell him that, what an adorable guy you are. I wish that the whole world comes to know of these two gems that are existing amongst us. So I think that is the reason this book deserves a read, because I think you will laugh and also cry along the way when you see that someone approaches life with such childlike enthusiasm. So start to the end, it was always like, it was like my guilty pleasure, but without the guilt, because it's just a pleasure reading books. So I had lost the habit of reading books along the years, and I thought, okay, I have to come back to my habit. Okay, series and all is one thing, but this is something that that is original, that nourishes your mind, teaches you, and also entertains you in its own way. It opens Reading books opens up your imagination. It opens up your mind. You are imagining scenes in your mind. You are one with the writer. You are coming to know of the writer in a way that no one else you can. So I think this book was a lovely start for that. I would highly suggest this book to anybody who loves biographies or just wants to read a book. I think it's written very, very lucidly. The language, the words are lovely. I mean, they are so easy to read. It's a easy read. You can keep on turning the pages, and it'll be very easy to finish this book. I am so glad that I had this encounter wherein I went to got the opportunity to go to the book launch, and after a couple of years I got to read this book. But I'm so glad I read this book, and I really want more and more people to read this book and know these legends. I think I was lucky that I got autograph of Mr. Parikshat that day at the book launch. He's written Love Parikshat. So this is something I think I will cherish. I will cherish. I'll read what Mr. Amitabh Bachchan has said about him, Mr. Balraj Sahni. There was a refined smoothness about him in all his performances. If I could have, I would have run up to him on the screen, touched his feet, and embraced him. That's what Mr. Bachchan thinks of Mr. Balraj Sahni. Like, Mahan Vyakti होते हैं. So he's like a great, great human being. There's also a forward article written by Mr. Bachchan for the. So get your hands on this book. Okay, that's it for me. I want to do more and more book recommendations as along the way I keep on reading books. I'll be telling you what I think of them, and then you decide what you want to do. Thank you for watching, giving me your precious time. I want that you should also enjoy, and this encourages you to read more books. Okay, bye. Love you.